to come and talk to us this morning, or this afternoon rather, on the nature of true tolerance. So please welcome Peter as he comes to share it.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that tolerance was touted. And you might even remember those coexist bumper stickers that were all the rage. But the times have changed. The self-proclaimed tolerant have become intolerant, and those who complained about bullying have become the bullies. We saw it with RIFRA and the RIFRA fix. We saw it when the CEO of Apple waved his money around and told us how we should live. We heard it in the threats of economic doom, more dire than any biblical prophecy. So today we make a stand against the bullies of the secular left, a stand against secular orthodoxy, more rigid than any church dare dream. Today we stand for the CEO of Mozilla Firefox, for Baronell Stutzman, for Melissa and Aaron Klein. We stand for the Boy Scouts, for the Sisters of the Poor. No one is safe from their attacks. Everyone must cry uncle. Since when did tolerance turn into conformity? Since when did diversity turn into uniformity? Since when did live and let live become do as we say or else? Freedom, Indiana is little more than a straitjacket. What's our crime? We believe marriage is one man and one woman. Raise your hand if you have a biological mom and a biological dad. I see most of you. And because of that, we have marriage. Now, you have to also realize that marriage is the best social program that ever existed. And here I quote, "Marriage is a sacred bond between a man and a woman. It's a fundamental bedrock principle that it exists between a man and a woman, going back into the mists of history, as one of the foundational institutions of history and humanity and civilization that is a primary principal role during those millennia has been raising and the socialization of children into the society into which they become adults." Powerful words spoken by the prophet, Senator Hillary Clinton. Are we now going to say that Senator Clinton was engaging in hate speech? Are we going to make it illegal to live according to what she said? Many of us happen to believe that God created us male and female. We love the Lord Jesus Christ. We believe the Lord is our bridegroom, that He died for us, the church. And we believe that heaven is a wedding feast. Now, not everybody has to believe this, but we live in a pluralistic society. And my faith matters just as much as your liberal orthodoxy. It has nothing to do with hate. It's driven by reason and motivated by love. Now, it's kind of funny, the Indianapolis Star has taken the lead in promoting SOGI legislation to make gender identity a protected class. And of course, they have done so by exercising their First Amendment rights. Well, we love the First Amendment too. And it's not just the freedom to worship, it's the free exercise of religion. It's the freedom to run our businesses according to our conviction and our conscience. For good reason, our founding fathers didn't call it a bill of privileges or a bill of exemptions. Religious liberty is a right given by God. Religious liberty belongs not simply to churches or to religious organizations, but to every single one of us. And those rights, we must tell our Republican leaders, are not up for compromise. The tolerant ones. We recognize that in a free society, we need to make room for one another. We can charitably disagree. But how is the world a better place by putting Christians out of business? How is the world more loving when we drive off those Catholic adoption agencies? How is our world more merciful when we harass the sisters of the poor? How do we become a more just society? By saying that Christians can't serve as county clerks and judges. What about the counselors and the teachers? What will they do when told to support the LGBT agenda? Perhaps our newspapers could publish a list of occupations under the heading, Christians need not apply. Rights exist to protect vulnerable people and unpopular ideas. So I say, I disagree with what you say, but I'll fight for your right to say it. And yet the left stifles free speech.
Right.
We see this on college campuses with all their speech clubs. I have many excellent professor friends who are losing their jobs simply for teaching what marriage is.
Yeah.
The truth is, modern day liberals are anything but liberal. When they speak about diversity, they do not mean diversity of thought. And what makes this so strange? The Indianapolis Star is promoting an agenda that actually stifles free speech. Once freedom of speech is lost, so also freedom of the press. As we saw recently at the University of Missouri, the secular left devours its own. And I guess many are hoping that if they go along, they will be the last ones eaten. But I'm not interested in the left's agenda, even if it comes in the color of a rainbow. And I'm not interested in Freedom Indiana when it means I lose my own freedom of speech.
Right.
And I really don't care about the CEO of Apple or the Chamber of Commerce. My concerns are a lot more personal. In North Carolina, a girl wants to use the boys' bathroom. So the school offered the girl a private bathroom. Seemed reasonable, but it wasn't enough. President Obama sent in lawyers from the Department of Education and the Department of Justice. In that poor school, those parents are suffering. In Illinois, a boy wants to use the girls' bathroom, and the courts are forcing the issue. Can you imagine? I'm a dad. I have a high school daughter. And I can tell you I would not stand idly by if a man walked behind her and caressed her.
That's right.
We saw what happened in Houston. All the world, all that big money and big business descended on Houston in support of making sexual orientation and gender identity a protected class. And the people of Houston said, and we should say together, no! We need to fight this on the national level. We certainly don't need our own local leaders pushing this garbage. I'll never vote for anyone who compromises this liberty.
Right.
I'll never vote for anyone who puts a target on our backs.
Right.
I won't vote for anybody who doesn't care about our children. It's just not worth it.
Right.
And the truth is, and this is the truth, we as Hoochers get along just fine. If I were a photographer, I'd take your picture. If I were a florist, I'd hand you a bouquet. If I were a baker, I'd bake you a cake, no matter who you are. And I'd bake it and I'd give it to you for free. But then, in kindness and civility, I'd ask that I not be forced to decorate your wedding cake. That's live and let live. That's kindness. But offering protected class status only makes matters worse. Only spreads fear, and so many are afraid. It'll put a target on the backs of people with conscience. It's a one-sided tolerance. Jail and fines for us, power for you.
Right.
Let's come to a conclusion here, but let's face it. The LGBT crowd does not need special protection. In the Cultural War, they are the aggressors, and they hold all the cards and have all the power. And you can see how afraid our own legislators are. They succeed because everyone's afraid.
Yeah.
They have every major network, every newspaper, every major institution, big business, every university, and all the millionaires and billionaires on their side. Why in the world do they need protection? Perhaps we should make Christian business people a protected class.
Right.
let's do it for the unborn. Who are standing for liberty. And together we'll stand for free speech, for freedom of the press, and yes, religious liberty. And if our own Republican leaders can't see through this, then we'll have to say, so long.
Special protected class status for the unborn. Now that's an idea.